So today's video is a part 2 to the healthy hair habits that I did recently. This is going to be covering all of the supplementation and kind of nutritional side of things that I changed. And if you got any value out of that first video, definitely stick around and watch this whole video because I noticed even more results from the whole nutritional side of things than I did for the topical care side of things. So here is a little bit of an overview about my own hair history starting in 2021. I would say that 21 was the year I started just paying a little bit more attention to my hair. Before then, I didn't really take care of my hair. I just went about my day, but I wasn't doing anything extra special to take care of my hair, I guess I would say. It was fairly long, not this long, and still fairly thick. I've always had fairly thick hair. It just grew super slowly. So I didn't have any bleach damage at that time. It was just virgin hair. I had experimented with little bits of highlights and stuff in the past, but all of that had grown out. But it was just growing super slowly. And that was my baseline normal hair. The summer of 2021, I decided to do something super fun and different. And I did this fun color look over here. So I absolutely loved it. The pinks, the oranges, the yellows. Side note, if you're in New Mexico or near New Mexico, go check out Riley at the Painted Pony if you're looking for some fashion fun hair colors. So I love the look, but obviously to get these fun colors, we did have to bleach my hair quite a bit. And we ended up bleaching all the way from the scalp underneath through the bottoms. So that's what those big kind of pieces are in here. And then she did a little bit around the front and into this stuff here. All the stuff that was at the top is definitely cut out because I have a lot of layers, but there is the tiniest bit of bleach just left at the tips. You can hardly see it here, but especially when my hair is straighter, there's just the teeniest bit in the last few inches of my hair down here. And with that bleach obviously comes more damage. So I started eventually noticing a lot of brittleness, a lot of dryness, and bits and pieces were breaking off. I contribute that to living in the desert where it is super dry. I wasn't taking super amazing care of my hair. Again, just washing it, wasn't sleeping with it wet, but I wasn't doing anything special to take care of it. And then hard water. So I think that all of those things, the bleach, the hard water, the dryness of the desert, me not being super gentle with it, I was experiencing a lot of breakage towards the end of my hair. 2022 was mostly the same. I decided that I wasn't going to re-bleach my hair. I was just going to grow it all out because I did miss the waves. I missed the softness, the manageability of it. So 2022, I just worked on growing it out. I did at this point start incorporating different hair masks and deep conditioning treatments. I experimented a lot with those kind of leave-in products and in the shower products in 2022. The combination of it not growing super fast for my scalp and then breaking kind of just kept my hair at the same length for a really long time. 2023 was definitely a real year of change. That was the year that I started taking nutritional supplements, and I definitely noticed a difference in my hair rate and density at that point. I also got 2 real haircuts in 2023. Before that, I think I had kind of spaced it out quite a bit or just gotten bang trims here and there, but 2023 I did get 2 big haircuts. I think the first one was in July, and that one was a fantastic, really funky modern shag. I have a little video about that on my page here. If you're in the Bay Area, or not, I am not, but I traveled to get there. It's worth it if you like these kind of fun shags. But you're looking to keep length and looking to keep volume, Ernesto is your guy. I went in July the first time and we cut a ton around the crown of my head, lots of little short pieces, funky pieces, and left the bottoms long. We cut out a bunch of the blonde, but there was still, I would say, maybe this much blonde left in July of last year, but most of this had been cut out at that haircut. And then in October of last year, I got a second shag, and it was just kind of a touch-up shag where we lifted more of the top layers again, and we kind of went into the bottoms. My bottoms had already been so thin with the breakage and just from being in a shag shape. That's kind of how it's supposed to be. But we did end up layering it a little bit more than I was comfortable with, or not even layering it, just kind of like thinning out the bottoms into these points. And because I had already been experiencing so much breakage at the end, I just feel like it made my ends look a lot wispier than I would like. So through October of 2023 until now, all I've been doing are trims. So trims myself, I've done a couple trims at the hair salon, but really in that last video I talked about like trimming a cup every few days, every week or whatever with those split ends. When that gets to be not enough, I was also like wetting my hair, taking it all to the middle, and then just cutting an inch or so off at a time just to keep working those really thin ends up. So every time that it would start growing a little bit, I would cut it off again. So I have maintained the same length-ish for a while, but that is because I keep cutting off the bottoms until I'm going to end up going in for another shag once kind of some of this fills in a little bit more. So we have been trimming the bottoms, and then I've been trimming my bangs myself because after taking the supplements, my bangs have been growing like crazy. So that brings us up to 2024. Now, today, last haircut, like I said, was October of last year. And I still do have a lot of layers. They're just super long now. So my short layers were like really, really short before. And so this is quite grown out for me. But to have this kind of growth and length happen in that short of a time for me is nothing that I've ever been able to do before. So the first supplement I started taking, which was in 2023, is the Evolvh Better Roots Root Boost. And this is a complex that includes vitamins, minerals, amino acids that are scientifically proven to help support cell turnover in your scalp and support healthier hair growth. It also helps to balance your whole growth cycle for longer, stronger, more robust hair. I would say that your hair and your nails are somewhat of an afterthought when like your whole body is concerned. Your body is definitely going to prioritize giving nutrients to your brain, to your organs, to things that you actually need to function on a daily basis. And having long, shiny, lustrous hair is not going to be at the top of your body's list to send those nutrients to. So when you're getting the proper levels of nutrients, it's giving all of those that to those systems like your brain, like your organs, and then what's left over is used for your hair, for your nails, for like plumper, healthier skin. But you need to be at that level of getting the right amount of nutrients, getting the right vitamins, getting the right minerals to be able to have some of that left over to go into your hair. So coming back to the first supplement I started taking, besides being an absolutely incredible multivitamin, I will put the ingredients up on the screen, great levels of everything, a wide variety of ingredients to support just your system in general. It also has something fairly proprietary called Anagen New, and it is a pea sprout extract, and it is basically a pea protein that's very available for your body. And this actually helps stimulate the dermal cells in your head and your scalp, and it kind of creates more micro circulation. And if I'm reading from the website, it essentially stimulates the hair follicle and rebalances the growth cycle. It enhances the expression of two specific molecules, and those molecules are responsible for the initiation of new hair growth and the stimulation of the hair growth cycle. I'm going to link this stuff in the description for you so you can actually read what those molecules are. You can read a little bit more about it. I don't want to mess anything up, so that will be linked for you. So I noticed results after taking this. I would say about a month-ish in, I was starting to think I was seeing results, but I didn't want to get too hopeful. And after 60 days, which is a full bottle, this is a 60-day supply. After 60 days, I 100% noticed results. But it wasn't in the area that you thought, that I would have thought, I guess. So it wasn't in my head hair first. It was actually in my eyelashes. I think that my eyelashes, just because when I do my makeup every day and I don't know, like your hair is just kind of there unless you're measuring it against your body all the time. Sometimes it's hard to tell right away. But with my eyelashes, within those 60 days, I noticed drastically different results. My eyelashes were as long as they had been when I was using a prostaglandin eyelash serum. Those are amazing for eyelash growth, but they have a lot of really bad side effects, and unfortunately I experienced some of those, which is why I stopped doing all prostaglandin eyelash serums. Essentially, it's, I believe, like a synthetic hormone. I might be wrong about that, but it can change your eye shape over time, and I lost a lot of volume and a lot of fat, like healthy looking fat around my eyes, and as you age, that's definitely not something that you want to be losing. So regardless, I noticed the same length results as what I was getting with those really powerful lash serums. And the only thing that I had changed was this. So I started then paying attention to around my hairline, and definitely noticed like more lustrous, healthy looking, robust hair. I would say that I didn't notice a length change at that point, just because it's kind of hard to tell, and I was still experiencing breakage. But the new growth definitely felt super strong, super smooth, super just like dense, I suppose. And then as I've continued to take this, I've definitely noticed an actual speed up in the growth. But in those first 30 to 60 days, it was mostly huge eyelashes and then starting to feel like some more thickening around my scalp. One more thing I want to mention is, of course, it's not going to do anything to any damage or splits that you already have on your hair. No supplement, no product, nothing is going to actually fix and seal those areas. So don't expect that from a supplement either. But because you're speeding up everything up here, you can just keep trimming that faster and faster, which gives you a healthier look overall to your hair because you're getting rid of the damage faster because your hair is growing out faster. I wanted to keep mine around a certain length, so I would only trim it kind of when it went past that length, and that whole process just sped up entirely for me. But don't think that it's just gonna like magically seal any broken areas that you have, because no product can do that. The next thing that I started taking was this collagen powder. It's not just any collagen powder, it is a very fancy one, very expensive. This is the Agent Nature powder. I had heard about it for years and decided to try it. So this is wild-caught kosher hydrolyzed fish collagen, so it's marine collagen. And then there are different types of collagen, 1, 2, and 3, and there are certain kinds that are better for hair, skin, and nails. And that is definitely what this collagen is created for. Besides the collagen itself, it also has pearl powder, which is a pretty fancy way of getting extra calcium. But it's supposed to support your skin and your nails as well as your hair. There are also other trace minerals in here, silica, magnesium, potassium. So all of those things really do support hair growth. It's proven those things do, especially if you're not getting enough from your normal diet. And I did a test with this on Instagram, so I would check that out if you're interested. I actually checked in once a week for, I think, a little over 30 days. It took me a little while to finish it. It's a 30-day supply, but it took me a little bit longer than that. And you can actually see the difference. I measured it against my body and I measured it against the same shirt, and it totally sped up the growth rate. So that was this powder. Me being me, I wanted to try something less expensive because it is pricey for a month's worth. So I decided to look on Amazon, and I was looking for a marine collagen, again, same types, that was highly rated. So I settled on this one. It had great reviews. It was marine and it was the same types of collagen, and was super excited about it because this was going to save me a ton of money. Let me tell you, it was horrible. I tried a bunch of times, got sick. It hurt my stomach so badly. I can't do it. So I no longer take this one. I eventually will start taking this one again, but there's something to say about getting a supplement that you are ingesting that is like really high quality, super, super pure, has a bunch of great reviews, and I will end up going back to that Agent Nature one. So those two supplements, the Evolvh one and the Collagen, launched me into this huge research phase about supplements and about nutrition for hair growth. I feel like we hear so much about topical things to do when a lot of it I had been finding really comes down to how you're supporting your body. And through that research, I heard about an ingredient called MSM. And MSM is an organic sulfur. It's a naturally occurring sulfur. It used to be very prevalent in our soils, but due to over farming and over pesticide use, we've actually stripped sulfur from our soils. So it's not present at the same amount, the same like levels in our fruits, in our vegetables as it used to be. So many people are lacking in sulfur, and sulfur is a building block. It's part of the chain that creates the protein in our hair. So without sulfur, your hair is going to be more brittle, more prone to damage, drier, weaker. So sulfur is a very important component in strong hair and nails. And MSM is a sulfur. It's the short name. I don't know how to pronounce the full name. Here it is. But MSM is really kind of a magic ingredient. And I tried one again from Agent Nature just because I had had fantastic success with their collagen. So I started taking this one. You have to be really careful with MSM. I did a deep dive into the ingredient, and the best information that I found on YouTube was from an amazing creator named Curly Proverbs. She's gone so deep into the research about it, so I would highly recommend checking out some of her videos. I kind of binge watch a bunch of her content. So I was looking up more information about MSM, and I don't know why it isn't talked about more. It definitely seems to be much better known in the Black and African American communities, maybe because of Curly Proverbs. She has an amazing Facebook group too. But when I was looking up people with my hair type to see what their experience was, I couldn't find too much about it. So like I said, I have like a 2A, 2B hair type, so very different than Curly Proverbs hair, but it works very well for me too. I want to read a little bit about MSM to you just so that you're aware. It's actually super healthy for you, and it's often used for people with joint problems. So it helps support joint issues, inflammation, swelling, things like that. That's what it was originally used for. And then side effects started just happening where people were growing hair really fast, and not just the hair on your head. So if you have thick eyebrows, mustache hair, your armpit hair, your leg hair, it's all gonna grow faster. But it only does that as you're taking it. So if you decide to if you get your hair to a point that you really want it and then you stop taking it, your hair will just go back to its normal growth rate. But side effects of this, you definitely need to drink a ton of water when you are ingesting MSM because it kind of acts as this cleanse in the body. You can get dehydrated really easy. You also want to take this alone. So you don't want to take this alongside any other supplements, any other ingestible support things that you're using, medications, things like that, because it can kind of negate the effect of some of the other ingredients, because it kind of acts like a charcoal would act, and it can kind of pull that other stuff out of your system. So I just would take this one at a separate time that I would take all of my other supplements. So as long as you're drinking enough water, and as long as you're taking a very small dose at a time and then working your way up, you should have no problems. There are other effects. Like I said, I will link stuff for you in the description, but I haven't had any problems. I didn't get any of the headaches. I didn't feel dehydrated. I didn't get any of the weird dreams. I had a perfectly normal, great experience with it, and it is totally safe to take. Just make sure that you're drinking water. After I finished this pack, I wanted again to try something a little bit less expensive, and I looked up this one right here. So this is the Doctor's Best MSM, but it says with optimism. So this is kind of like a trademark name, And it's the same exact thing as what's on here, the Opta MSM. So I believe that these are the same crystal, essentially, the same organic sulfur crystal. So I have been using this one now with absolutely no issues. So through all of my research about MSM, I found out that vitamin C is super important for letting MSM absorb properly. Now, vitamin C is not a super stable supplement to take. Oxygen kind of ruins it pretty quickly, and it doesn't always get to your system. Like, your gut can destroy it before it gets sent into all of the places that you want it to be sent to help your body. So I heard about the lipospheric vitamin C, potentially from Holistic Habits. I don't remember exactly at this point, and from an old boss of mine in the holistic world. But these are really cool because it is a packet and they're encapsulated. The vitamin C is kind of encapsulated in oil. So you slice it, you drop it into a tiny bit of water, and you just take it back without breaking any of the capsules of the encapsulated vitamin C, and it gets to where it's supposed to be going. So vitamin C makes MSM work even better. So it's kind of important to take those two together if you're looking for the most optimal results with the MSM. The other thing I want to mention is that MSM actually has a symbiotic relationship to collagen. So vitamin C makes MSM work better, and MSM makes collagen work better. So all of those things together really work in harmony. I did take the MSM and the vitamin C in the morning together, away from everything. I would take the Evolvh supplement normally at lunch with food, and then I would take the collagen at night in a hot drink so that it would dissolve really nicely. If you don't have that liposomic type of vitamin C, the way that you can get around that is to eat something with fat while you're taking your vitamin C. So that could be butter, peanut butter, avocado. Something that has fat will kind of help transport the vitamin C into your system the way that it's supposed to, if you don't have or don't want to get the liposomic ones, but I would highly recommend this. The last thing that I want to mention is protein. So protein levels are very important for your hair. It's not something that I was really thinking about in the beginning until I hit that research phase. As I was kind of finishing up that first bag of the collagen. So protein powder, if you're not getting enough protein from your normal diet, which I again am not, protein powder is something that's super helpful. I didn't do a ton of research into this myself about which proteins to buy because my partner had already basically done that for himself. He is super active. He likes to work out. He likes to really take care of himself, and he had this protein powder that he absolutely loved and thought was fantastic. So I take his protein powder, and it tastes great. It's really easy to drink. I would not mix this in with it. I made the mistake of doing that just to kind of make myself not have to drink one more thing. But it gets really gunky really fast because this is a powder and then with the protein powder. But yeah, having those protein levels at the proper, where they're supposed to be for your body, definitely will then give you all of those extra nutrients to your hair, to your skin, and to your nails. So if you're not getting enough protein, that's something I would integrate as well. I have linked a ton of articles, references, websites for you and your own reading below. This video could have been so much longer than it turned out to be if I went into everything. Plus, I am not a scientist. I'm not a medical professional. This isn't medical advice. This is just my experience, and you should definitely do your own research, do your own reading, make your own conclusions. But I did list a bunch of the things that I used for my research below in case you would like to do your extra reading. Of course, leave me any questions that you might have. I'd be happy to go into further detail about any other parts of my journey or about the things that I take and do. If you have tried any additional supplements that you have thought made a noticeable difference in your hair or skin or nails, totally drop them in the comments. I love getting to read what other people are using. And until next time, thanks so much for watching.